period, just to fall in love with a man. She's a
Yes.
widower.
Yeah.
But then this man is outside her race. I mean,
Yes.
were you a little bit reluctant writing that part in? I mean,
No.
is that real?
No, it was real. Real means, I mean, it is happening in the world, isn't it?
I
So
don't
I
know. I mean,
wasn't
I
afraid
don't
of.
know. I don't
Yeah,
know anybody.
yeah.
I admire the main character. I admire her strength. I admire her courage. However, I think if in real life,
Yes.
a woman who
Yeah.
had been through
Yes.
an arranged marriage, moving
Yeah.
to a new country, domestic abuse,
Uh-huh.
attempted rape, would she have the courage
I think
to
so.
do this?
Because when she first came to this country, she didn't have any courage or any self-esteem or anything. But gradually she grows up to have her own self-esteem, and then she falls in love. Just she didn't even know that she was falling in love with this man. But when she realizes that
That she loves him.
she loves him, that it scares her. But then in the end, she mustered up the courage to allow herself to fall in love with him. She couldn't help that.
Hema, do you think that you know a girl
Yeah.
who had a real person who had experienced all the stuff that Neela, the main character, had,
Yes.
do you think that if she had come to the same position where Neela was, where she falls in love with somebody who's not of the same race,
Yeah.
how would her extended family, her parents, what would be the reaction to that?
Maybe reaction might be different, but why would she care about so much? I'm not saying that she shouldn't care about her parents or anyone else, but in her situation, I mean, her parents were happy. She knew that her parents were going to be happy because she knew her parents. I mean, they always wanted her happiness.
Yeah.
So
And
I'm sure if any parents, if their girl goes through all this, I'm sure in the end they will be happy.
But you know what the thing about Neela's parents and a lot of parents who've
Yes, yeah.
arranged a marriage for their son or their daughter. Well, actually, if it's for their son, they'll be more picky. They'll be more choosy.
Yes,
And she'll have to be not only a supermodel, but has to cook like a gourmet chef and
Yeah.
has to be very well educated, but at the
Yes.
same time be
Yeah.
docile and not speak up.
Yes.
So it's really weird. But that's what a mother would choose for their son.
Yeah.
For the daughter, it's a little bit different. Neela's parents were grateful that somebody had decided to marry their daughter,
Yes.
and a lot of parents in South Asia, especially if you're not a wealthy
Oh,
family,
yes,
they're
definitely.
grateful.
Yeah, they are. Yes.
They're grateful that
They will
somebody's
be grateful
marrying
because
their son.
yeah,
I mean, yeah.
That's right. Yeah.
There's also a ritual in the wedding, and I don't know if it's a
Yeah.
South Indian thing or just specific to this village, but
Yeah.
where you describe a ritual that on the wedding day, the mother and father,
Yeah.
they wash the
groom's feet.
feet.
Yes. I mean, they believe that he is the God Vishnu, and in that form he came to take. I mean,
So in that
accept
form,
his
he's
daughter. Yeah. And they wash his feet, and then give their daughter to him.
What do you think about that ritual?
I personally I don't like it because marriage is equal to a man and a woman, isn't it? I mean, they are getting into that partnership, whereas they are committing themselves into that relationship. So by doing that, I think they are saying that, not without in words, but saying that the groom is special and higher than the girl.
That's what I thought, reading that
because
part. I thought
it's
you're just reinforcing
reinforcing that
an
he
ideal.
is, yes, yeah, that's right. But because it happened in centuries. I mean,
And it's still
thousands
happening.
and thousands
Still,
of years.
that ritual still happens?
That's right, and I think that everyone was brainwashed that a man is the higher than the woman, and the woman is like a second-class citizen. I mean, if you think about him hundreds of years ago, even 100 years ago, I don't think a woman could read and write. Everywhere in the world, even in the UK, I mean, someone was saying that 100 years ago, girls were not allowed to go to school.
Well,
or
yeah,
they
I
didn't
mean,
go
the
to
privileges
school.
that women have in the West now
Yes,
are
yeah.
pretty much newfounded freedoms
Yes.
that we
Yes,
enjoy.
definitely. Yeah.
But our culture, and we've said this before, the South Asian culture is so rich, and there's so much more to it
Exactly. Yeah.
than
Yeah.
what gets discussed.
Yes. Yeah.
And the reason being is that our notion of a girl's place in society and in a
Yeah.
family
Yeah.
hasn't changed all that much.
No, it
no matter
hasn't.
how educated we
Yeah.
think we are, and
That's
no matter
right.
how
Yeah.
educated a woman
Oh,
is in
yes,
particular,
definitely. Yeah.
she's still expected to be a good wife,
Yeah.
a good daughter-in-law. And I don't know if that's going to change with my generation, or it's going to take a few more generations to change
I
that.
hope it will change. I hope so. I mean, I think it has changed so much already, because now look at the girls are going to universities and doing all sorts of jobs, and even you can see our prime ministers, even Indian and Pakistan.
Yeah.
You know, prime ministers were
That,
Indira Gandhi.
I don't know, Hema. I think that's just a symbolic change. I think it's just, just to tell the West that we're changing, but in reality, in our own homes,
reality,
we're not.
No.
And women are still, female fetuses still
Yes.
get aborted.
Yeah.
And when a woman is
Oh,
born,
yes.
when a girl is born, it's
Yes.
almost like you're mourning the death of something as opposed to
Exactly.
celebrating the birth of a new life.
Definitely. That's what I was saying. I mean, in a few weeks ago, in a paper, in an Indian paper, they said thousands and thousands of women are, suicide. I mean, there are so many.
What, they're aborting their babies,
Aborting
or
their babies, and women are, committing suicides because of the domestic violence.
and we covered it in the book, and we talked about it today. But domestic violence, we've had a show on domestic violence, and the interesting thing of that program was that for South Asian, domestic violence has to be redefined, because it's not just the man hitting a woman, or it's just not husband abusing the wife. It's the extended family. It comes from your in-laws.
Exactly.
It comes from your sister-in-laws.
Yes.
And you wrote about that with the main character, and I think that all of us have known somebody who has, without calling it domestic abuse, has suffered at the hands of their in-laws, their extended families.
Definitely. Yes, yeah. A mother-in-law, she herself is a woman, but still, she doesn't think how a daughter-in-law would feel if she's. Maybe they don't even know that they are acting like that, abusing.
But you're a mother-in-law now.
I am.
And so you have both a daughter-in-law and a son-in-law.
Yes. Yeah.
Do you expect your daughter-in-law to,
no way at all. I mean, I think we are friends. Yeah. I hope so. I mean, you have
And
to
how
ask.
about the notion of dowry then? I mean, you married off a daughter, and your husband your son was married, so.
No, we didn't give a dowry, or we didn't take a dowry,
Yeah.
or anything like that. Actually, we split the costs equally, and we didn't want to do all that.
Yeah.
No way. Yeah.
And in modern day England, modern day America, couples are splitting the cost of weddings, and it's not just the girl's family who shoulders that burden.
No.
However, even saying that, even though the husband, the bride, and the groom might split the cost of a wedding, the girl's family still showers their future son-in-law with expensive gifts.
Oh, yes.
So it's kind of an unsaid dowry. It's not saying, can you give us 20,000 pounds on a motorcycle anymore? It's buying him a Rolex. It's paying for the honeymoon.
It is still happening in some communities. I mean, even they are showering with the gifts, and then again they are asking as well.
This book is great for women. It's really maybe a good Bible for a woman, because it shows that women are strong, and even despite facing some really hard experiences, you can overcome, and you can rebuild, and you can move forward.
You can.
What is your hope for a future book that you're working on now? I know this is your debut novel, and it's done really well. I believe you won several awards, including the National Year of Reading Heroes at Downing Street.
Yes. Yeah.
And so that must have been a huge sense of accomplishment on your first novel.
Yes, it was. Thank you. I mean,